checking in, hi, to let everybody know that follows my channel and you, new viewer, that this next presentation is a wrap-up of my experiences that have come to be a way for me to understand the development of my soul and my skill set. And so with great compassion, I can say lovingly that I have been loved by narcissistic men, and I have also been in such anguish with them that I had to discover why I would tolerate such behavior and treatment. And yes, it stemmed from my childhood. It stemmed from the fact that I had to perform for love, and that my very being was assaulted. And now I'm learning how to heal. I've reparented, I'm reparenting. So when young men, we put you in the gamma male category, you're not in that category forever in the male social sexual hierarchy. Vox Day, Owen Benjamin, those people, they all talk about it that I know of. A gamma is a male that has passive aggression, and he has the inability to communicate. And they usually go on stations such as mine, in which an older woman is reflecting upon her life in an honest way, and she's single, but she is choosing to be, and she's not dating, but yet they make it as if she's out there looking. Solo is the way to go when you're healing from your entire lifetime. It's like a respite. It's a resting period. All of us are actually higher beings in this physical form, but some of us have more awareness. So Erik Erikson's 8 stages of childhood development have really helped me. And then the other thing is total 100% acceptance that things went the way they went. They are the way they are. And I love being the star in my own show, in my own movie, in my own world. And that's what all of us should be. So my channel is allowing you to have a window into my world. And may you learn something. Please check out my channel. This is just one video. This one that I'm doing right now, I may release as a single, but I'm tying it in to the experience that I had of when a man who convinced me that his age of 68 wasn't older than me. Like, he immediately wanted to know my age. He hit on me and wanted to know my age. And then he convinced me, he was using convincing language to me that 68 and 62 was not a big difference. 6 years was not a big difference. It is after you're 60. And what I've discovered is that I actually was able to hone out and recognize what was happening. I knew he was spirit chucking. I knew that because I was makeupless and looked very approachable, that I was vulnerable and easy prey. I knew he was a sexual predator. And had I not been who I am, he could have really done a number on me. He had already invited himself over my son's house through Assumption, who I was dog sitting for, and then wanted to make it my fault, and it became the focus of the conversation. But those people who say, let it go, forget it, I'm processing it because you have no idea how my physical body actually responded. I received the adrenal cortisol from the stress because I could tell that this guy was no good. He was a liar. Enjoy the video. But what I am going to say to you is that women must always be on their guard. And even when a man scoffs at you, tries to make you feel bad for having standards, don't you ever, ever, ever doubt yourself. He could have turned out to be a guy who date rapes you, drugs you, does a number on your mind. But because I didn't want anything from him, and because I had the highest amount of integrity and intention, I could see right through everything. When a woman is desperate financially and she thinks a man is the answer to her problems, she is in for a whole bunch more. But we'll go there another time in our conversation. For now, let me just say that now that I see what I see the male behavior in such a clear way. That it's okay. I see what it is. I can step aside, which is exactly what I did. So again, enjoy the show. The other one, oh, she's so bitter and so angry. This is called a presentation. You're just bitter. And I happen to have been voted most life-loving in my high school class, and it's never worn off. So go F yourself. Well, what do most cocktails have in them? Bitters, mother effers. So sit back, enjoy this cocktail, because for women who are 60 plus who think that it's possible to date, guess again. It doesn't matter if they're online. It doesn't matter if they swoop down and invade your personal space at a Whole Foods dining area or anywhere else for that matter. They are not going to be necessarily worth your while.
So they keep you in a constant state of, oh, we'll work on that next week and let's explore the feelings you're dead. They make you more crazy.
Hi, buddy. It's like, so some members in the audience want, and the men usually, the angry men, the lonely men, the ones that are such jerks that they can't get PUSSY because all the girls are going someplace else. I make these videos out of a public service, and it's even to you idiots who make these stupid comments. Do you think I care? I've had my career. I have a daughter and a son. I have a relationship with them. I have grandchildren. I've been married twice. I divorced them. I would not have married them had I had a normal mother. Instead, I had a pathologically narcissistic one. I was set up to fail in relationships, which is then brought me to my purpose, which is because I have so much experience. I'm not bitter. No, I just add bitters to my cocktails. So stick around and we'll talk more. And go ahead, leave those nasty comments down there in the comment section. I'm going to ignore them for a while. Lots of love to those who support me and even to my enemies, because guess what? You all just give me great fodder. You could give me great information. The one guy that made fun of me, who are you? You live in a shoebox kitchen. Yeah. Check out my podcast. Link someplace or in the description below. The playlist, my podcast is in the kitchen, my bitchin' in the kitchen sessions. Yeah, it's a shoebox kitchen and I dish it out. Emoji hug. Ooh. And now I know, all right, in these bitter, dating stories of not dating, of being tried to be picked up by this old boomer who's 68, tries to tell me that 6 years isn't a big, huge difference. I was open and entertained to the, okay, maybe he's intelligent. Maybe we can have a great conversation, until I realized he reinvented history. He wanted to make me responsible by his words for his emotional state and for feeling dissed. He still wanted to drive home the point. Don't you remember asking me? And then you said, and that's why I'm asking for respect. I would want to know, I would tell you if I changed my mind. And I'm not the kind of person that you should guard against. I think he's the exact kind of counselor and shrink women should guard against. He's dangerous. And he would be the type that would have you coming back week after week after week just for the money. So he has the emoji like this, the thinking emoji. And his next bubble is, I wish great things for both of us, or should I say all of us. I have a class, grade A, bulletproof soul that sees through smoke, mirrors, and BS with a laser-like focus. I don't know what kind of men you're used to. I'm not sure what kind of women you're used to. Desperate ones?
So they keep you in a constant state of, oh, we'll work on that next week and let's explore the feelings of your dead. They make you more crazy.
I know him not. I did not meet him on an online dating app. He pulled a hitter on me, and he struck out. Boo-hoo. And this is how he struck out big time. I felt dissed. And then he goes, I wish great things for both of us, or shall I say, comma, all of us, exclamation point. And I let him have the last word, because that's the most important thing to do with anybody with potentially pathological narcissism or narcissistic tendencies or emotional immaturity, which he obviously is. And you always give them the last word. Let them have the last word. Be done with it. You never want to get into the fight with a pig, because the pig will enjoy it and you only get dirty. He would come back with something even worse. This man has 3 master's degrees. He's a shrink. Do you think he hasn't studied every last little evil thing you could possibly say to any female to make her feel degraded? I've heard it all. Doesn't affect me anymore. I'm like Wonder Woman. Ding, ding, ding. So, or should I say all of us? He would be implying schizophrenia. Because his old big thing, and I wasn't going to ask, are you implying me, myself, and I, and my other personality, Sybil? Are you implying Sybil and I are running each other's lives? Or are you considering that maybe you're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Right? That's what happens with narcs. They're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They have 2 different personalities. And this guy was a liar. He was a psychotherapist, and he was all of those things just so he could try to figure out his own head and have power and control over something. And I'll have you over at my son's house. Oh, that's stupid and unsafe. Huh? I certainly would have let you know if I wasn't going to, if I was going to change the plans that he invented in his brain. He's like, I certainly would have let you know. I don't think I am the kind of person that you might be used to guarding against. And again, he is exactly the type of man I will guard against. And I will say to all the women 60 plus, keep on keeping on and hold the ground and the guard, because you are the precious wonder of this world now. You are the wise elder, and you are going to pass on your wise women knowledge and experience to the women who can then avoid any and all pitfalls, or at least recognize them before they ever step foot in such a gaslighting BS situation as a date with a guy like that. And also that women need to know the things that I learned the hard way so that they can avoid it. And we didn't know what narcissism was. So all men have narcissistic tendencies, which is why the word has lost its potency, and which is why people tend to dismiss it. But pathological narcissism is a whole different ballgame. So, pull up your chair, have a cup of cuppa. I am going to give you our lessons on how to be nice to girls. So, this is to the men that are on the channel making grievances, as well as any man, including yourself, that has found yourself here today. When you have a disagreement with any woman in your life, start practicing here with me. Safely tell me why it is that you disagree with me, or you find me so repugnant or beautiful. I'm not asking for compliments, but if you practice listening to a woman you don't know, it might become easier to actually listen to the ones you do. Women really want to know what you think. So start by not calling them names just because you disagree with us. Show some original thinking, you know. It's things like your perspective and attitude is the perspective that you have. Through what lenses are you looking at society? And nobody's wrong here. You wouldn't be here on the internet looking at my material or perhaps trying to feel better about yourself by slewing out insults unless you wanted some answers, right? What happens when somebody calls somebody a name, like you jerk or whatever? It usually results in the other person doing a reaction. Well, that can be called reactive abuse. Online, it's just called online behavior, I suppose. It's an anomaly. We don't do that in public normally. Normally, or do we? Or do you? So perhaps you can learn how, number one, if you want to have girls in your life, you need to learn how to talk to girls. How to talk to girls. Number one, don't call us names when you disagree with us. Tell us, say, listen, did you just say? Number two, you want to verify and validate. What was that you meant by that? I thought you meant this. Okay? The man in part 1 and part 2 of this series, he never verified and validated his misunderstanding and his assumption that we had a date that night when I had just met him without being on a dating app. He tried to pick me up. He'd been reading The Art of Pickup, okay? I was just minding my own business. But I took it for a ride for as long as it went because I wanted to see, it was a way for me as an anthropologist in my own culture, all right? I'm a writer. How else am I going to get material? So be amused, sit back and stop being so judgmental, and use the ability to use intellectual thought processes like Richard and this other guy, Tony, and some other people, to be able to actually disagree with me, provide your own perspective, and then you let me know how I come off. And it's like, I see. I get it. That rubbed you the wrong way. All right. Well, let's talk about that. I find that fascinating. I want to know more about you. because it does everybody a world of service. Having a conversation is why we are here, right? Learning how to have communication and conversation. One of the commenters said, "Oh, Kat, you just want to hook up. Do you know the definition in my book of a hookup? A hookup is you have sex. Do you realize how easy it is for me to actually have just sex, okay, with a man that found me attractive, okay? That's not the issue here, and it's not what I want. And so that was a very young, and that was a male projection, or that was a viewer projection, no matter what gender you're oriented to or were born with biologically. Ooh. Take some tea. I'm spilling the tea. You guys, learn to disagree with us without calling us names. Let us women know what's on your mind, all right? Number 3, because I said 2, but I forgot what that was. I'm going to reread this and score it later. It's a myth that we women use emotions to manipulate all of the time, although I've seen women do that, and it's a small percentage of the time. And I don't even know those women. I know the men who use anger to manipulate and intimidate. I've experienced that. So maybe you experienced a female narcissist, and I was raised by a narcissistic mother, and she certainly did use anger, resentment, bitterness, stonewalling, anytime she didn't get her way with me. Yep, yeah. And then she too used insults. So I'm used to this behavior, and it doesn't really get you anywhere. Now, my mother was born Year of the Pig, and I also find it very funny that you never get into a fight with a pig, because you will get dirty and the pig will enjoy it. So I will banter to remarks in the comment section, which I now lovingly call the penis gallery, the peanut gallery. What did you hear? And it's going to be that I address you all, because you all are the guys that are in the demographic that's not scoring. So why don't you actually listen to a woman who actually loves men? Come and lay with me. And it wasn't until this year, 2025, at the age of 62, that I actually saw the patriarchy for what it was, because I had been in it. So I would be called recovery of a former pick-me, which I was but wasn't. So there are pick-me's that are always begging, and then there are pick-me's who will do anything to keep the man when she gets him, not recognizing that he changed his behavior. And that is the pick-me within the narcissistically abusive relationship. It's the similar, I would say, emotional conditioning because of our parental abuse of being told that we couldn't be loved unless we did this performance task and that, and we did this and that. That's the only way we could receive love. It was transactional. And I'm not talking about sexual abuse. So, number 3, women do not use emotions as a rule to manipulate. In the Manoverse, they actually debate that. They talk about how it is indeed a tool and not to trust her. And I have seen these ridiculously hypnotic images of man after man, paid actors, looking sad. They got paid $500, if not less, to look sad for the camera. Meanwhile, when you're scrolling through YouTube, all you see is those big bosom older women that you then consider as the norm. When what you're looking at is definitely what we once called airbrushed. And it's all about appealing to the male gaze, showing big, huge tatas that aren't even real. You guys love fake boobs. That's sick. So, how'd you handle that one? It's okay if you're a boob man, but just know they're not real. So let's see. I have questions to men about their emotions because, you know, emotions are very, very, very important. Emotions are used to make sales in all kinds of ways. I'm sure you've been experienced on the experiencer end, and perhaps you have trigger points in bitterness. Did your mommy and daddy ever make you feel bad for having emotions, crying, stop crying, you're a crybaby, or any of that? All right. I mean, I'm here to tell you, as a wise woman, as an elder, that was to defeat you of your potency. Having emotions allows you access to energy that you then put into motion in your life to create a really wonderful life, the warrior life, rather than the warrior of the gamma male who hates women because he's not getting any. So therefore, he's going to target an older woman who he then perceives as bitter and undateable, and why is she dating anyway? Without actually listening. I'm not dating. Hashtag not dating. Solitude, get it? It's called, I totally 100% embrace where I'm at, and I find it amusing. But perhaps my civic duty to educate you guys. Motherfuckers. So, all right. Get in touch with your own emotions. And again, were your emotions not allowed? Okay, women naturally have attunement to their emotions. You know why? We have a moon cycle every month. Once we get into that hormonal phase, you all get hormones, and then all your emotions are is I want to F that, and I want to F that, and I want to F that. we have an entire orchestra, and all you are playing is the horn. Oh, the trumpet. Whatever it is. Off to the races. Oh my God. You guys. I remember when I first started kissing the guys that once we became of age in high school, and I think we were juniors or seniors or something, and they couldn't kiss. They were slobbery, or they were just like ready to like off they'd go, and just like, would you just calm down? Can you breathe the energy off? It was like walking into a room and having a dog hump your leg, all right? It's like, get this thing off of me. Women are tuned because we have our moon cycles, therefore we have our emotions. And I ask anyone who wants to take on extra credit in this class, how to be nice to girls, I suggest you do a personal essay on calling women girls. Because baby's called a girl, isn't it? And you get my point. Learn how to talk to girls. So this is the internet. We have different social norms than they do out there in the real world. So we can put aside any political correctness. And any fembot that comes on here and goes, stop calling us girls. You're taking us back decades. It's like, no. You guys have no more harassment in the workplace laws. Women used to be called toots and babe and sweetie and pinched on the ass and sent for coffee. So you all should listen up to a woman who's been called bitter, but she's actually better. And besides, these are my cocktails. And that's what bitters go into. And we're all going to enjoy life together and maybe learn a thing or two. Have a discussion, learn how to talk. Oh, look at this. It's a phallic symbol. And this would be a rabbit in the Kama Sutra, and that would be an elephant woman. I have a video on that. It's one of my more popular. Just go to my channel, click on it, go to the Kama Sutra video. It's up there in the top 5.